Our sin doesn't allow us to get anywhere close to God, the teacher said. In fact, Romans 6:23 tells us that the payment for our sin is death. There had to be a perfect sacrifice to pay the price of sin. The teacher had everyone close their eyes and imagine two cliffs facing each other with a giant canyon in between. How do you get from one cliff to the other? She asked. This canyon is impossible to cross without help. There needs to be a way to get from one side to the other. Okay, she said. Now open your eyes. This helps us to understand our problem with sin. You see, when sin entered the world, you and I were separated from God. There was a huge canyon separating us. This is where Jesus comes in. When God sent His one and only Son, Jesus, to die on a cross for us, He made a way for us to get to Him. It is through Jesus that we can enter heaven and have a relationship with God. Because God loves us, He made a way for us to get to heaven. If we had a big, strong bridge stretching from one cliff to the other, we could use it to get across. This helps us to understand what Jesus did for us when He died on the cross. Jesus, the teacher said with a smile, is the bridge to God's presence. Now Lewis knew exactly what the teacher was talking about. He understood the disobedience in his life that was keeping him from God. He knew he had messed up. Once again, Lewis thought back to a recent memory. This one took place during school recess. Always trying to find a competitive edge to win, Lewis has always been very competitive at school. The last time he played hide and seek with his friends, he ended up being it. When you are it, you have to close your eyes and count to 20 while everyone else hides. The last time he played, Lewis decided that he wouldn't keep his eyes closed. Bringing his hands up to cover his face, Lewis spread his fingers wide and kept his eyes open so he could peek through to see where everyone was hiding. "Here I come!" he shouted loudly as he ran towards his friends. Lewis had cheated. He wanted to find everyone easily and quickly and had done it by cheating. Now, hearing about how serious disobedience is, Lewis couldn't believe he had done such a horrible thing. He needed the fresh start that his teacher was talking about. He needed to be forgiven. Not only did he need to be forgiven, but he also needed to ask his friends to forgive him for not playing by the rules. Lewis knew he needed to choose to do the right thing, not because he had to, but because he wanted to.